Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm here today to talk about Grammarly. I'll make a short video here to give you some ideas of some of the frustration that I had with Grammarly while I was writing my first novel. Maybe the part of the reason that I've had such difficulties with Grammarly was that I had about two-thirds of my novel written when I installed Grammarly, but it still was kind of a difficult thing. I'd like to give a plug for my novel here. I just wrote and released this book called Colt Banks and Tritos Universe Academy, and it's where a teenager in high school gets recruited to an academy for the defense of the universe against a alien AI. I think you would enjoy this book. It's available on Amazon. Okay, back to Gramarly here. Let's talk about that. That's what you came for. If we let me close the cover here, and here's Gramarly. I have it up and running, but we're not going to talk about that right at the moment. Let's go to my Gramarly things that's happened to me while I was writing and editing my book. You know, I had probably 150, 200 pages written and installed Gramarly, and I would get all these. I had over 1,000 corrections that Gramarly had indicated. Like here's you get the beginning of the book where there's this alien, for lack of a better word, paper, and the letters on it can be moved around. But Colt here, the protagonist in my story, he blew on the paper even harder. It was trying to blow the character, and he blew the characters right off the page, but the characters didn't fall to the desk. But you can see over here on this side that Gramarly wanted me to change that to more complex. I'm not sure that you could blow more complex. This next example here is where finally one of the officers shouted, "Shut up, kid," to Fab. He didn't speak the rest of the way. The kids are in the back of a police car sitting there. Upon the arrival at the police station, the officers took them to the room with a strong, capable-looking woman, and wanted to change it to a robust and capable-looking woman. I'm not sure that I would describe a woman as robust. I know this is green, so it's a suggestion. It's not like a correction. Like you would have down here, you have the red where it says it's actually a grammar problem, but this is a suggestion to improve your writing here. Let's go on to the next one. Here's one, number 3. So Colt went back down to his room, and has a reading assignment from his teacher. So he tried to read some of his book, but his mind was too full because he was too worried about some other things. But anyway, Gramarly insists, even after I've dismissed this several times, Gramarly persistently asked me to change it to books. I think he was going to read some of his book, not some of his books. I guess I could have changed it to a portion of his book, and maybe Gramarly would have liked that better. I'm not sure. Okay, number 4 here as an example is the creature took a sword-like weapon from his backstrap and swung down as Colt rolled to one side, barely missing. The creature lifted his weapon above his head and took another swing. So Colt opened his eyes and removed the halo. So he was in a virtual reality with this creature he was weaponing with. And then you can see here that Gramarly wants to change it to a gun when I've obviously talking about a sword. I guess you don't take a sword to a gunfight. Yeah, that's possible. But anyway, it wasn't a gun, it was a sword. So instead of weapon, it wanted to call it gun. Here we go, number 5 on my list here. I mean, all these are pretty interesting. Colt is also participating in a virtual reality education here at the Alien Academy. And Colt is combining the elements to make molecules. And it wants to change the elements. We've talked about, you know, oxygen and protons, the protons and electrons and neutrons and so forth like that, and copper and so forth. But Gramarly wants to change it to components to make molecules, and I think we're using elements to make molecules, not components to make molecules. Also, I was thinking about making a video of how I make the book cover, I thought I found a little bit easier way than I've seen online previously. If you'd like to see me, I'll show the book cover again here in a moment. If you'd like me to show a video on how to easily make your cover to fit on Amazon KDP and get it right pretty much the first time, I could make a video on that with an explanation, and I'll show you the files I used to make that. I did make it in Word. Okay, here we are. We're back to this Gramarly irritation again, and it says the major sections of the band of lights around the exterior. So this is describing this Rotaxis. I'll back up here. He sees on the other end of Rotaxis, which is a space station, it's shaped like the weights at the end of a barbell, with the smaller diameter weights toward the center and the largest diameter weights at the far ends. The major sections have a band of lights around the exterior with portions pulsing as they travel around the bands. So it wants to change it to significant sections here. When you have hundreds of these, for clarity is what the blue is talking about here, then it makes it a little frustrating, I suppose. And I talked a minute ago about making the cover. If I go to my book section here and we look in the book cover section, you can see I used Word to make the cover for the paperback. Here, let's open that up, and you can see there's the change the view to zoom to 100%. There you can see I made the cover in Word, and you can see that this is a graphic insert, this is a graphic insert, and then the spine is a separate graphic insert. Like I said, if you'd like to see how I dimensioned that and how I got it to fit perfectly, just give me a comment down below and I'll think about making that video shortly, hopefully next few days. Back to Gramarly here on number 7. We have one here where in math class Mr. Moore promptly asked Colt about his special assignment. And then whenever Gramarly decided it would be more clarity here, particular assignment. But he had signed it previously in text. Colt had been assigned an assignment, and he was supposed to bring that back to class. But here is particular assignment versus special assignment. I think teachers mostly talk about special assignments. I don't hear teachers talk about particular assignments very often. Oh, well, here we are. We're doing a virtual conference, and Officer Milsu says, yes, we already decided in an earlier conference. Are you okay? Because this officer has been infected, and he doesn't realize that he's having different things going on in his head. Officer Brack, is there something wrong with the environmental controls? It's hot in our quarters. Officer Milsu, summon Commander Rex to join the conference. And here it says, summon Commander Rex will join the conference. I don't know how you can summon him to will join, but those are the kind of frustrations here, and it has this as a red for correctness on this particular, that it's grammatically incorrect. There we go. I can get that out. Here's another one, but this is an engagement, so it's not really as much of a error as most. But when Candidus saw the sensor screen, a cloud of vessels were speeding toward Rotaxis. Checking their long-range sensors, they saw 3,481 vessels in a stream from the same direction. And here they're in outer space. It's a space station, and here we have Gramarly wants to change it to 3,481 boats in a stream from that direction. So I guess boats and stream, that's what they're getting there, and Gramarly didn't quite understand that. On to number 10. Here we have Uncle Dave, which is, Colt has been adopted by his Uncle Dave and his Aunt Martha, and he's living with them. Uncle Dave, it is what he wants. Who am I to stand in his way? Colt said, great, thank you, Major Stewart. And Major Stewart is the officer he's being interviewed by at the military academy. And then we have here that Gramarly wants to change it. It says it's an engagement thing to Central Stewart. So the major, which is a military officer, It wants to change it to Central Stewart. I mean, you can see my frustrations there. Number 11. We only got 15 of these, so here we are with another one. When he stuns them with his weapon, he wants to stun them with his gun. And I agree, it was a gun-type weapon, but I think weapon sounds much better than gun. And it is an engagement-type correction, but still, when you have thousands of them coming up on your novel. Okay, here's one that's it's on delivery. Okay, when they awake, each is in a wire cage. They've been captured by the artificial intelligence soldiers from the alien artificial intelligence soldiers, and when they awake, they're in a wire cage big enough to sit but not to stand. Their technology devices, weapons, and halos are missing. The halos are how they communicate with one another in different languages. And here we have a positive here. We see change it to the halo. The technology devices, weapons, and halos need to be included. I don't understand what they're asking there. You know, weapons and halos need to be included. A little bit of frustration there. Number 13. Here we have a section here when they're talking to this alien, the head of the police force, basically, on an alien world, and it says, "Sandu, Trikoi told me of your presumptuous story of time travel to save us." Officer Colt: "This is the truth. Your race would have been eliminated." Sandu: "My purpose is to severely punish criminals to prevent the additional transgressions." And you can see here that they want to change the purpose here. My purpose is to punish criminals to prevent additional transgressions severely. Okay. I don't know how you can do transgressions severely. To me, it's severely punish, not transgressions severely. Okay, let's move on to number 14. Okay. Here they're wearing some active camouflage, so it's some camouflage that makes them clones the other aliens. They look as if they are the other aliens. And it's here, you know, Senior Officer Fortis via Halo. They probably can't see our weapons in the active camouflage, so when we're a couple of steps away, stun them. They walk normally to the soldiers and quickly stun them without incident. Well, here we have, they walked generally to the soldiers. I don't walk generally very often that I'm aware of. Okay, number 15 here. We'll move on. Here we have one that, because I'm not using the words east and west, since I'm sure there's no east and west on alien planets, that they use different language. They call it the light rise side of the planet for what we would call east. And here we have this, Lydia explained that this is a company founded by Davianatis. It's on the light rise side of the city and has a stallion head as the logo. Officer Colt: "Thanks, you've been very helpful." And it want to change it to "Thanks, you've been very accommodating." I don't think a teenage boy at 15 years old would say, "You've been very accommodating," or "You've been accommodating." I think he would say helpful. Anyway, that's my 15 complaints there on Gramarly. Also, if some of you are interested, I would be open to showing you how I formatted the Word document and or some other things that I've just recently learned. I think once you first learn something like that, it's important to share it. And after you've known it for a long time, sharing it becomes more difficult because you just do it without thinking. Guess not. So if you'd like me to go through how do you get these page numbers at the beginning, I guess I could do it on that. So here you have I, and then on the back of that page, at the beginning of the novel, you have I for 2, and then you have the copyright page, and it is actually I, and then we have, which is 3, of course, and then we have the back of that page, which is 4, and then we have the introduction to the novel, which is page 5, and then we have the back of page 5, which is page 6, of course, and then we have the table of contents for the novel, and then we end up with page 7 there, and then the back of page 7, which is blank also, and then we have the first chapter 1, and then in chapter 1 begins with the page number 1. I know some people leave this off, but I kind of like it there. And you can see this is formatted so that we have a wide margin here and a narrow margin there for every other one in Word. I'm sure you probably know how to do that, but if not, we could cover part of that too. Anyway, back to Gramarly. Frustrated with Gramarly. Paid for the whole year. Thought, when I first installed it, I thought it would be really good. I know you can block certain applications, like I could block it from my email and things of that nature and customize it, your writing style and so forth, but it was somewhat frustrating when you open up the document, and I guess I should do that and see what happens here. Book contents. Let's open up the paperback version. I guess we could open up, there's the Kindle version, and then we have the hardback version. Let's open up the hardback version. And then we have Gramarly thinking here, and so it says Gramarly showing the suggestions on pages 1 through 10. So hey, this is an improvement since I've used Gramarly last couple weeks ago, and I was issuing, actually promoting my novel and getting it issued, getting it uploaded to Amazon for pages 1 through 10. So I wonder how that works if you go through, when you get to pages, let's go to page, there we are, and then click here. Does it change automatically? Pages 38 through 39 through 48. So that's a little bit better. I mean, at least you don't have, I'm only having 20 or 30 of these at a time. But we could even actually see this here. What it says here. Colt thought he could invite the girls. Oh, Colt's on the way to PE class, and he's walking in front, and the Asian girl is walking in front of Colt in the hallway. He watched her skirt and her long black hair dance back and forth in opposite directions as she walked. Colt thought, yes, she is beautiful. Having a brave moment, Colt asked her, I see you and my cousin sitting with the popular people. What's up with that? And he was thinking here that he could invite the girls to sit with him in lunch after she answered, because he wasn't care what she said. He was going to invite her to sit with him at lunchtime. And you can see here, after she answered, he thought he could invite the girls to sit with him at lunch. Well, that's okay. I don't disagree with that, but I like that the thought coming first and then the invite coming second. And when I think of things, that's how I would like it to read. And since this is a suggestion that's blue, so it's just for clarity. It's not for correctness, so not really a major problem, I suppose. Okay, then, that's all for Gramarly. Like I said, leave me a comment below. Maybe you could hit that like and subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to build up a channel here, and we could maybe review books or methods to write a book. If you're a beginner like me, it's been a learning experience. So, thank you for watching today. I'll put a link down below to my book if you would like to at least get a Kindle version and give me a review. I probably would give you a free Kindle version to review, and I would really appreciate that. Okay, in addition here, some of you may be interested in how I created my book trailer on my channel, which you probably came to see my video. But if you're interested in seeing this, I would be happy to go through. It's pretty simple to create it on iMovie and how it was created, and you can see it looks like a movie trailer, but it's for your book. And be pretty interesting to plug your photographs or your movie clips in, and you could create your own for your book and post it online to promote your book, and hopefully would drive it to more sales. I'll go ahead and let this play out a little bit because I think it's pretty interesting and it works out pretty well. I thank you for watching this video. I hope it's been somewhat informative, especially about the Grammarly. Also would appreciate if anyone's interested in reading this book and putting some reviews on Amazon. Be inclined to give the first 50 people probably a free Kindle copy that you could read and put a review down. I would appreciate that. You can contact me below in a comment, or you could email me at guitarpeasant@gmail.com.